hope we return to play here. I'm excited to call this second half. Looks like we'll get some word from the
Barcelona have elected to forfeit the second half. The winner of the game is the Munich Ravens.
Hola amigos, estás escuchando al Barcelona Bad Boys podcast. Soy tu verte, Jordan Pryor, y necesitamos hablar mucho sobre esta organización. I told y'all that Spanish would get better even if this team doesn't. But no, in all seriousness, we may not have a team to cheer for next season. And things are not looking good. And so I am going to catch y'all up to speed with everything that I know. And I only know so much because nobody's really writing about it. And the handful of people that I know that have any type of inside information are kind of being told that they need to be quiet right now. So luckily, I have no ties to the European League of Football as far as an employment standpoint. So I'm here to talk shit. But yeah, let's start with this. I originally recorded the first version of this reaction pod at halftime. Just because I figured there was no point in talking about the rest of the game. We were losing 54-0. We weren't going to come back. We probably weren't going to score a point. And right as I finished recording, I get a notification that Barcelona has decided to forfeit the game. They forfeited the second half. So the game ended up ending 54-0. Munich beat us. And it was incredibly embarrassing from start to finish, mainly just because of all the stuff that has been going around. So to dive into the information that I know, Coach Shelton resigned, and he resigned yesterday. Now, I looked up his official statement here. Official statement from Coach Shelton says, I will be stepping down as head coach of the Barcelona Dragons effective immediately. I want to thank the amazing fans for the support and dedication. I want to thank my coaching staff with tireless effort and dedication to these men who have committed 100% of effort to create a learning and development environment for our players. End quote. That is all Coach Shelton said. Now, I, as someone who, I love football. I've been around it since I was a kid. Growing up in Texas, you live, breathe, sleep, and eat football. That is all that there is to do. And I know that whenever a head coach resigns, it can only mean one of two things. And one of these hypotheticals I know is not currently going on. In the event that it's an Urban Meyer situation, there's a really bad behind the scenes social thing, or maybe they've done something illegal, blah, blah, blah. A coach will sometimes resign in that instance, more so to save their own integrity and not be fired by an organization, which I don't think is what's happening with Coach Shelton. The only other reason why a head coach would resign is front office stuff. It's just an absolutely brutal, terrible environment to work in. Even coaches of losing teams do not quit on their team midway through the season and do not quit the day before a game. Okay? If they do that, it's suicide to their career, basically. Their career will tank because then they no longer become a reliable individual for any organization to hire in a coaching position. And so coaches only do that if there is good reason whenever they're interviewing for other things, and they're like, well, hey, we know that you left this team. Well, yes, here are the reasons why. So it's not like he did it just to do it. It's not like he did it because Barcelona was bad. He did it because there's something going on the inside, and we know very little about it. Okay. Now, I don't mean to be a tinfoil hat type of individual, but I have some conspiracies. So let's start with the game itself. Okay. The game was ugly. Again, Barcelona forfeits second half of the game against Munich. And an unnamed inside source told me that last night, Friday, night before the game, whenever after all the stuff hitting the fan with Coach Shelton resigning and Barcelona not being sure whether or not if they were going to even play the game in Munich, the players and coaches had a vote for whether or not they were going to play. It is to my understanding that a majority of the coaches said no, absolutely not. We are done with this shit. We're not playing tomorrow. And a majority of the players said no, we absolutely want to play tomorrow. Like, this is what we do. Like, let's go play. And I'm torn by the responses because at the end of the day, I don't know fully what's going on the inside with this organization. And so, people who are loyal to Coach Shelton, I can understand why they would take that approach. I also kind of am in the camp of like, you could at least figure out all this other crap after the Munich game too. But at the end of the day, we had no shot against Munich to begin with. An interesting note, though, with majority of the players at least saying that they wanted to play, Levi Lewis did not play today. And this wasn't a situation. I mean, if he were hurt, we would have known yesterday, or at least there would have been some sort of communication. There was not a injury report put out on Levi Lewis. He just didn't play the game. Which is, again, another very, very interesting note here. And I mean, I can't say that I blame the guy, if he's a believer in Coach Shelton, and that's his guy. And if Shelton left because of awful things that the front office was doing, I could see him not wanting to play. Sorry, your boy's thirsty and I got a little iced coffee here. But yeah, I could see why he wouldn't want to play. Also, the fact that every week he's running for his life and getting absolutely, destroyed in the backfield makes sense to me too. But yeah, just a very interesting note that Levi Lewis did not play, was not on an injury report, and I didn't see any pictures or videos of him on the sideline. I don't know if he was there. I didn't see him personally. He might have been there, so don't take my word on that one. But regardless, was not on the field playing. Yeah, just goes to show how much of a shit show this front office and this team has become. Now, something else of note is that, again, we got beat so bad at halftime that we forfeited and everything. We had to get a consoling pep talk from Munich's head coach, Kendra Ellison. And I do want to shout out Coach Ellison, just real quick.
It's a fucked up situation all around right now. All right, but the one thing you did, you controlled what you controlled. You came out here and you played football. All right, you did your end of it. Okay, there's nobody that should leave here with your fucking head down. Fuck that. That's 0-0 for all I care right now. Okay, because it's about football. All right, and right is right and wrong is wrong. All right, there's things that y'all gotta get right. There's things we gotta get right. But you came out here and played, man. So I want to tell you this from me. I appreciate it. Us as Munich Ravens, we appreciate it. And listen, guys, enjoy it for what it is, man. Enjoy this because we came together as football family, as brothers, and played a fucking football game. Not the wins, the losses, but the fact that we were able to come together. Guys from Germany, guys from Spain, all right? So do not fucking hang your head on the situation, what the situation is, all right? Because what you did today, you showed that you're bigger than that fucking situation. And I hope everybody from your front office gets it figured out so y'all can finish the season because that's what you guys deserve, all right? So Munich, give these guys a hand.
You're doing a great thing, brother. I greatly appreciate you for it. It sucks being the team that's having to be consoled by the other team's coach, but there are some guys on that team who were so broken that they needed to hear what you had to say. I actually saw a guy who I couldn't tell you which player it was. I have a screenshot though here of one of our guys just bawling his eyes out into the arms of one of our coaches. And emotions are high. These guys really did like Coach Shelton. And I don't think that these guys particularly like our front office. And so the fact that Coach Ellison was able to take the time and to give a really meaningful speech and to tell them, at the end of the day, like, the fact that you showed up on the field is the most important thing. And I agree with that. Just is a testament to his character. So yeah, just again, quick shout out to Coach Ellison. But yeah, also on the flip side of that though, man, being the team who has to be consoled by the other team's coach after a forfeit loss is brutal, man. It's brutal. That it shows just how broken everything is, because it wasn't a, I get that after Coach Shelton left that none of the other Barcelona assistant coaches really wanted to step into this role, given all the shit that's going on behind the scenes. But I noticed that none of them were the ones making that speech. None of them were out there and putting in that extra work to console their players. And I get that they're mad, but yeah, it's just, it goes to show where this organization as a whole is, that, the other team is coaching our team better than we can coach ourselves, essentially. So, but so that is the game aspect of this. Now let's talk about the actual front office aspect of this and dive deeper. So as y'all know, Amani Donadell was put on the IR. And so Barcelona tried to sign JJ Hop Brania. I believe that's how you pronounce the second half of his last name. JJ Hop Brania, who plays for one of the GFL teams. Don't really remember which one. The ELF shut that signing down. Hop Brania was not on the field today. He was not part of the team today. At least as far as I saw, he definitely wasn't on the field. He didn't get to play. But I didn't see him suited up or anything like that. I don't think he was allowed to. Because yeah, the ELF shut that down. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. I have no other inside info on that other than just the signing itself got shut down by the league. And this isn't the first time that Barcelona has had issues with the ELF this season, as far as the ELF's governing body having to enforce things with our team. Because as y'all know, earlier in the season, we did get investigated for activating a player who was not properly registered to the team and letting him play in a game that he was not supposed to, which I don't remember what the final decision was on that. But now we're being investigated by the ELF again, basically because of all the stuff that happened today. They're just going ahead and they're stepping in to see what the heck is going on. Seeing if I have any other quotes in here for that. I don't think so. Again, there just hasn't been a ton of information on it. But so let's talk about the actual owners now, the people who, are putting forth money towards Barcelona. Because I have been hearing whispers that Barcelona has been in debt for a couple of seasons now. There is some sort of an issue with the tax code in the Barcelona area and their team. And I don't know a ton about Barcelona taxes because I don't live in Barcelona. But I do know that just from just being an adult, taxes standpoint alone, taxes suck. Taxes can mess up a ton of things. Taxes have messed up sports franchises here in the US. So, but yeah, apparently there's some sort of tax code that's really been screwing over their organization. They're also in a profit deficit and are not making money. And it hasn't been confirmed, but it's been spoken about multiple times. And it is at least worth noting that there is this idea on the inside that certain players aren't getting paid and aren't getting the money that they're supposed to and things of that nature. Now, while I can't speak to that, I can speak to the fact that Barcelona isn't really paying people, period, as far as the numbers that they're proposing to people. Because a couple weeks ago when we had Carlton Aiken Jr. on our pod, he, former Barcelona quarterback, he was talking about how Barcelona proposed a number to him and Helvetic proposed a number to him.
Helvetic reached out, John Falk, and they offered me a contract, and I was like, hey, Helvetic gave me X amount. This is what I would like to come back. This, that, and the third. And Helvetic offered me a really, 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 really good deal, and I didn't think anyone was really going to be able to beat it. Barcelona really couldn't beat it, and I understand.
So the number was a lot better in Helvetic, which is why he decided to go with Helvetic instead of playing for Barcelona. And so the team can say whatever they want about players getting paid and things of that nature. We'll probably never know the true answer to that on the inside. But as far as just the initial contract value, I do know that they're not paying these guys much. I don't know what that number is, but I know that that number is the reason why, guys like Aiken Jr. left. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the reason why Zach Edwards left and went to Paris and has been killing it over there and everything. And maybe not even necessarily completely all about the pay, but also front office issues just as a whole is why a lot of like their O-line talent and stuff went to Madrid instead. We did catch up with owner and general manager Jaime Martin Mostau about, them basically being able to get a lot of the homegrown talent from Spain away from Barcelona into Madrid. And obviously he's a very professional individual. He was easily the smartest guy in the room during that interview. Very thoughtful guy. Loved him. But kind of in a roundabout way, it did sound like a lot of it was because of how poorly Barcelona is ran. And so that's where we're at now. It is, we're in a dumpster fire. Elite Sports Equity is the group that owns Barcelona now, which I believe that is, Malcolm Smith, Jason Robinson, former NFL guys. They're not the only investors, though. They were investors that came on in 2023. And so I don't know who the other investors are. I can't find anything online right now. But it sounds like just from all angles, they're just not able to get a hold of their issues from the front office standpoint. They're not paying guys the way that they're supposed to be paying guys. There's also, again, whispers that they're not paying guys. Attendance is low. They're not able to get fans here because the product on the field is bad. Coaches are leaving, the day before games because of how awfully I assume they're being treated. Because again, if you look at Coach Shelton's message, his resignation message, he does not mention the front office. He thanks the fans, he thanks the coaches, he thanks the players. Does not thank the Barcelona Dragons organization, which is something interesting to note. And Barcelona keeps getting in trouble with the ELF. They keep getting investigated for different things. Shit is hitting the fan. There's a decent chance, I feel like, that next season Barcelona is going to cease to exist, at least in the ELF. Who knows? Maybe it's better for them to go down to like one of the Spanish leagues. But as far as the ELF goes, I would not be surprised if we don't see Barcelona next season. Because I have multiple people who either work within the ELF organization or are constantly around them and other teams within the ELF organization. So people who live, breathe, sleep, and eat this stuff that are telling me that they are struggling financially and they are in a hole that they're having a very hard time getting out of. So, things look very dreary. And there's not a whole lot over the horizon to make things look better. If we do continue to finish out the rest of the season, it's going to be a rough one. We've got to play Stuttgart twice. That's just the first team that comes to mind on our upcoming schedule. But we got to face them twice, and we just basically all but got mercy ruled against Munich, who is a middle of the pack team. And our starting quarterback is not wanting to play for us. Our head coach has already resigned. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see more coaching resignations in the days following. If we don't see more player resignations and or saying that they're not going to play in the days following. And yeah, things just look bleak. So Barcelona fans, as I find out more, I'll probably make another podcast or two. But the Barcelona bad boys days are dwindling. I probably won't make a ton more of these, but just, I'll at least see it through the rest of the season. Enjoy it while it lasts. And remember, at the end of the day, even though it hurts, it is just football. This doesn't affect our daily lives or anything like that, which is actually something that Coach Ellison mentioned in his speech of yes, this hurts, but, this is a game at the end of the day. It's a game that we're passionate about and that we love and that's a ton of fun and that we find joy in, but it is a game and life moves on. So hopefully we have the opportunity to, stay a part of the ELF and get some new ownership and management. But yeah, things look bleak. So with that, this has been Jordan Pryor, doing my best to report and to catch all up to speed with at least everything that I know right now, which isn't much. It does feel like the league is sweeping this under the rug. As a matter of fact, I saw a really good tweet from Nathaniel Morris at Nate_Morris_. It says, I love how no one is talking about the drama with the Dragons. Coach is not wanting to coach, players not getting paid. This franchise is folding right beneath us, and we are trying to sweep it under the rug. And truly, again, I have multiple friends on the inside right now who have all this info and they're, being told to take down tweets and being told not to report on things. And so, yeah, whatever is going on right now, the league doesn't really want us to know about it. And, there's not there's just this massive influx of information that we get on this league to begin with. So it's not like we have a ton else to go off of. But yeah, I'll quit droning on. Thanks so much, everybody, for listening, for hanging out. And yeah, until next time, my friends, vaya con Dios. And yeah, let's get together and hope that this team is at least still around for next season. Take care, everyone.